Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to juvenile detail. A narcotic ring has been supplying drugs to the teenagers in your city. There's no lead to the identity of the key people in the operation. Your job? Find them.
It was Monday, February 9th. It was cold in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of juvenile detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Powers. My name's Friday. I was on my way into the office, and it was 8:01 a.m. when I got to Georgia Street Juvenile, the squad room.
Joe?
That's right.
Hi, old buddy.
Been in long?
Oh, since about 7:30.
How come?
No, I couldn't sleep.
What's the matter? Anything wrong?
Oh, Fay and me had a beef. One of the kids is sick. We were up with him most of the night.
What's the matter?
I took him over the rides yesterday.
The rides?
Rides, you know, the place over there where they have the merry-go-round Ferris wheel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got a little carried away, I guess. We sure had a good time, though. Took in everything, roller coaster, airplanes, whole works.
Mm-hmm.
She can't expect us to do it on an empty stomach. We had a little something to eat. I guess maybe we overdid it. Anyway, the youngster got sick last night. Fay says I'm to blame. One thing led to something else, and the beef was on.
So you just got up and came into work, huh?
Yeah. Stopped and had some breakfast, read the paper. Come on in.
How's the kid now?
Okay, it was nothing serious. A little too much cotton candy's all. Fay's got a tendency to make too much of those things, but, you know, she always does.
Yeah. Something we can do for you, young fella?
I'd like to talk to somebody.
All right, come on in. Maybe we can help you.
You're a cop?
That's right. It's Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Hi.
Hello, son.
What do you want to see us about?
Kind of private. Is there someplace else we can go to talk?
Well, we can, yeah. There's a room down the hall.
Well, that might be better.
All right, we can go down there. Come on. Down this way.
Yeah.
Just a minute. This is it right here. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, you want to take a chair right there, son?
Okay.
All right, now what can we do for you?
I want you to put me in jail.
Why?
Because it's the only way I'll stop. I know it. I gotta be in a cell or I'll do it again.
What do you mean, son?
I'm hooked bad. I want to stop.
He was a nice-looking boy, well-dressed and clean. He looked like he was in his late teens. He asked us to put him in a cell. There was an intenseness in his eyes that showed that he was serious. Frank and I questioned him further.
What's your name, son?
John Coulter.
You spell the last name for me?
Colter.
How old are you?
17.
Where do you live, son?
You have to have that? Hasn't got anything to do with why I'm here.
Oh, we'll have to have it, son.
1896 Dillon Street.
Is that in L.A.?
Yeah.
How big a habit do you have, son?
I'm using 4 a day.
How long you been hooked?
A year, a day before yesterday.
Want to let us see your arms?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of marks there, haven't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
A couple of them there we better have the doctor look at.
All right, I don't care anymore.
How long since you had it fixed?
Last night.
You must be feeling a little rough by now, then, aren't you?
Not easy.
Oh, I guess it is.
Hey, you mind pulling those blinds? It's awful bright in here.
Yeah, okay.
You live with your folks?
My father died when I was 5.
Your mother know about this?
No.
She's going to have to, you know.
Then you're going to tell her I'm not.
All right, we'll take care of that.
Is the light better now, son?
Yeah, thanks.
When'd you eat last?
Yesterday.
You hungry now?
No.
How about a cup of coffee?
No, thanks.
How'd you get started on this stuff?
Oh, it probably runs like all the rest of the stories you've heard.
Well, why don't you tell us yours anyway?
All right.
You sure we can't get you some?
Only one thing would do any good, and you can't give that to me.
All right, go ahead. Now, how'd you get started?
A couple of years ago, it was Halloween. The kids had a party.
Oh.
We all went to this house. Kid that owned it had the rooms all decorated up. You know, paper streamers and those cardboard skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Had the whole place done up like that. We got there and found out they were figuring to play games. We went the game route for a while, and a bunch of us decided to leave. Things were dull, so we left.
Where'd you go?
Oh, just drove around for a while. Tried to figure something to do.
Whose car did you have?
One of the kids had his father's.
All right, go ahead.
Well, we drove around for a while, and one of the kids said for us to go up to Mulholland. Go up and scare the lovers up there.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything else to do, so we drove up. When we got there, one of the guys, a fellow I didn't know too good, said he had some tea. Said we should have a blast party.
This boy was at the other party, was he?
Yeah, but I didn't know him. Didn't meet him until we were out on the ride.
Did he go to your school?
No.
All right, son, go ahead.
Well, we parked, and he took out these cigarettes. He had them in a tobacco can. You know, like you buy pipe tobacco in.
Uh-huh.
Had them in one of them. Then we lit up and started to smoke. At first, it made me sick. I didn't like it much. Come right down to it, I didn't think the whole thing was such a good idea.
Why'd you do it then?
All the kids there had to, or they'd have said I was chicken.
All right. How'd you get started on the hard stuff?
Oh, I just got to the point where there wasn't much kick in tea. You know, same thing all the time. Wanted to go up a step.
Who set you up?
One of the kids I met.
Wasn't the same boy who had the marijuana, was it?
No. You see, once in a while we'd go to a big blast party at somebody's house. Be other kids there. New ones. I met Jerry there.
Jerry, that's the boy's name?
Yeah, Jerry Roth.
How old is he?
19.
Is he hooked?
Yeah,
Was he when you met him?
I guess so.
How'd he spell his last name, son?
Roath.
How'd he turn you on?
We were talking about tea. How the kick wore off. He said there was something else. Something that had a real jolt.
Yeah.
Ah. Boy, it's rough. I'm starting to get cramps.
You better have that cup of coffee now.
I'll get it, Joe.
All right. Feel pretty rough, don't you, son?
Yeah. It's a good thing I'm here. I'd start looking for a connection.
Did you take your first shot of heroin the night you met this Roth kid?
Yeah. We went outside to his car. He had a fit there, and he cooked up a fix. He took one, then I tried it.
What happened?
Never got so sick in my life. Thought I was going to die. Figure what's happened since then might have been a good thing.
How you been supporting your habit?
Only a couple of ways. You steal or you start pushing yourself.
Which way do you go?
Both.
What'd you steal?
Anything I could sell. Never took anything from anybody else, though, all from my own house. Most of the stuff was given to me. Rings, my watch, whatever I could raise a buck on.
What'd you get rid of it?
Around the school. Couldn't go near a pawn shop, but the kids didn't care as long as they got a bargain. Sold my old man's watch for $3. 17 jewels, solid gold, $3.
What were you pushing?
T, H, anything. I'd buy the H and then cut it myself. You don't have to do that many times until you got a couple of extra caps. That took care of me for a while.
Yeah.
Pretty soon there was never enough. Got so as I was always looking forward to the next fix.
When'd you start mainlining it?
I chippied with the stuff for a couple of months. Skin pops. Then that wasn't enough. Started in the arm.
When'd you find out that you were hooked, son? Do you remember?
About a year.
Took a while, huh?
I figured it would never happen. Thought I could beat it. Turn it off when I wanted to. Didn't work out that way.
Didn't you know you had it bad when the charge went up?
Not really. I still thought I could quit when I wanted to. Just never seemed to get that far. Kept putting it off. Guess if I figured I could start the next day, it didn't matter much. Time I decided to quit, I couldn't.
Here's your coffee, John. Brought one for you, too, Joe.
Thanks.
It's hot.
Try to get it down. It'll make you feel a little better.
Yeah. Cramps getting worse. You got a doctor here?
Yeah, there's one upstairs.
I better see him. Might be something he can do.
Is your mother at home?
No, she works.
She there now?
What time is it?
9:15.
Be about 10 minutes.
Better give us the number, huh?
Yeah. You're going to call her, huh?
That's right.
Going to tell her about it?
Yeah.
Going to take it pretty hard. I don't think she knows anything about it.
Well, we have to do it.
I guess so. Tell her how there's a cure, though. How she's going to be pretty scared.
How do you mean?
She read where only 2% come out of it.
Well, there's less than that who want to be helped. There's a lot less.
Yeah?
Maybe you got a piece of that 2%. 8:57 a.m. The boy was taken up to see the doctor on duty at the receiving hospital. At a couple of minutes after 9, we put in a call to the firm where his mother was employed. We talked to the personnel manager, and he said he'd have Mrs. Coulter call us. A few minutes later, the phone rang, and we talked to the woman. We told her briefly what had happened and asked her to come right over to the office. At 9:25 a.m., the door to the squad room opened, and a tired-looking woman who looked to be in her late 40s or early 50s entered. She identified herself as Nora Calder and asked us what had happened to her son.
He's upstairs right now, Miss Calder. The doctor's looking at him.
You tell me he's been using narcotics.
That's right.
Is that what he says?
Well, he's admitted it to us.
Is he all right?
Well, we think so. He's got an infection on his arm caused by a bad needle.
But it's going to be all right.
That's right.
You have a cigarette, Sergeant?
Yeah. There you are.
Thanks.
Help yourself.
Here's the light.
I guess I should have known it'd be something like this.
Beg your pardon?
I should have known. Had to show up someplace.
I don't think I understand, Miss Calder.
There's a trouble spot in them all, Sergeant, all of them. This is Johnny's. Hope you don't think I'm saying this personal to you. It's just what I've seen in the years I've gone around. Trouble spot in all men.
Did you know your son was using heroin?
No, I didn't have any idea.
Well, according to what he told us, he's been hooked for over a year. You must have noticed something, didn't you?
You use the word hooked. I'm afraid I don't understand that kind of
Oh, I'm
talk.
sorry. I mean, he's been an addict for that long.
Sergeant, I've been working for a long time. Ever since Johnny's father died. I worked before then. When I get home after standing on my feet all day, I got a few more important things to do than wonder what he's doing. All I can do is just drag myself down to the factory every morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Always something. Bills to go over. Decide who's going to have to wait this month. Clothes to wash and iron. Time I just get the things done that have to be taken care of. That's all I can do to climb into bed before I pass out.
All right, Miss Calder, we understand.
I wonder if you do.
How's that?
I said I wonder if you do understand. Have you ever raised a boy by yourself?
No, ma'am.
I have. Believe me, it isn't easy. Since 11 years ago, I've been a mother and a father both to Johnny. I always knew there'd be something that'd blow up. I knew it because he's just like his father, exactly like him. I'm 35 years old. 35, and for the past 17 years, I haven't had a minute of happiness.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything we can get for you, Mrs. Calder?
No. Only thing I want is a little happiness. It seems like there just isn't going to be any of that while I'm on this earth. I'm sick, Sergeant. I'm old and I'm sick, and I can't go through any more of this.
Your boy's pretty sick, too.
Yes. I know all about that, too. I read how none of them cures work. Well, they say 2%. There's something else I got to carry.
Might be a little different with John.
I don't see why. No reason for him to be something special. No reason for him to be cured.
Yes, there is. He wants it, Miss Calder.
What's going to happen to him?
We'll file a petition on him.
After that,
Well, he'll have to make an appearance in juvenile court. They'll decide what treatment's going to be best for him.
can I see him?
Yes, ma'am, we can take care of that.
Now?
Frank, you want to see if the doctor's through with him?
Yeah.
You have another cigarette, Sergeant.
Yes, there you are. Here's a match.
Thanks, Sergeant.
It's all right. I want to tell you something, Miss Calder. Your son's pretty sick. He's not going to look too good when you see him.
You been hurt?
Not so it shows, but he's going through a great deal of pain. There's going to be a lot more.
For both of us, Sergeant.
Well, I guess you're right at that. Might be better if you remember that he's just a youngster. He's only 17.
I won't forget. He's mine.
All right. He's made a mistake, but he knows it, and he's taken it on himself to try and do something about it.
Tell you something, Sergeant.
All right.
I've had a lot of trouble with Johnny. When he was little, he was always running away from home. Time he got to school, he played hooky a couple of times a week. High school, it was the same thing, but that's not the worst of it.
Ma'am?
He's been stealing. From his own mother, he's been stealing.
Yes, ma'am, he told us.
He admitted it?
Yes, he did.
Well, there you are. It's not bad enough he's a dope fiend. He's a thief, too. I wasn't sure about the stealing. I just thought so. A few things have been missing around the house, and I'd asked Johnny about him. He'd offered some half-baked story, and now I know. He's a thief. I haven't got enough.
Try to take it easy with the boy.
Take it easy. That's a laugh. All I've done for him, nice home. Not real big or fancy, but it's clean. We've got a kind of closet, sort of, nice and big with a window. Got that all fixed up for Johnny, airplane pictures on the walls. The best I could do. We eat good. Never gone hungry. Lord knows I have, but he hasn't. No reason for him to do a thing like this. No reason at all.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Mother.
I know all about it, Johnny. These men told me. All the time I've been telling you it'd end up like this. You in trouble with the police. You just wouldn't listen. You thought you knew better than me. Well, you found out how much you know.
Yeah. I'm sorry about it.
It's a little late for that. How am I going to go home with all the neighbors knowing about what's happened?
I'm sorry.
Well, if that lot of good that's going to do. I had you home right now. I'd show you, and don't think you're too big for me to do it.
You want to take me upstairs, Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
Just a minute. I got some more things to say to you. Don't you go walking out on me like that.
I don't feel so good. I'd like to be by myself. I'll talk to you later.
You talk to me now. I got a lot of things I want to tell you, all the trouble you've caused.
I'm sorry. Please, Mr. Smith, it's tough enough.
All right, let's go, son.
You bring him back here. You bring him back. Well, that's it. Now they're both gone. Now there isn't anybody.
Anything we can get for you, Miss Calder?
Yeah. Get me a reason why this had to happen. Give me one. Do you know one?
Well, I can't be sure.
What do you mean by that?
Just like you said before.
What?
He's your son. We made arrangements for Mrs. Calder to be taken to her home. That night, John Calder was kept at Georgia Street Jail. The next morning, we filed a petition on him. We had one of the doctors at the county hospital talk to Mrs. Calder, and he finally convinced her that her son would get proper treatment at one of the state hospitals, and she signed the necessary papers. For the next 3 days, the boy had it pretty rough. If the novice drug user had the opportunity to witness a patient going through withdrawal pains, the majority of drug traffic would be brought to a halt. Because of the sincerity of the Calder boy, Frank and I spent as much time as we could spare with him while he was going through the symptoms. He complained of violent headaches and stomach cramps, the usual things. He was unable to keep any food down. His eyes watered constantly, and for 72 hours he was in a state of constant violent pain. On the 4th day, he began to recover. He was able to take some warm beef broth and apparently was on his way to being physically well. On Saturday, February 15th, we talked to him at the hospital.
Rough go.
Yeah. You got the worst of it behind you now.
Best thing I've heard for a week. Don't think I could go through any more of it.
Well, you got it made now, John. From here on in, you'll get all the help we can give you.
Well, you guys have done a lot already. A couple of times there, I think I would have gone off my rocker if I hadn't been able to talk to you.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Hey, either one of you got any gum?
Yeah, sure. Here's some.
Jumpy. I gotta do something to calm down. You seen my mother?
She called us yesterday, yeah.
How's she getting along?
A lot better. One of the doctors here at the hospital talked to her. Says she wants to see you.
What's that going to prove? Be the same thing. Her telling me how tired she is, how I'm a goofball.
I don't think so this time. It hasn't been easy for her either, you know.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, why don't you give her a chance to make it up? If she wants to.
Yeah. I guess there isn't much more I can do.
All right, now, there are a couple of things we want to ask you.
What?
We want the men who kept you supplied.
Names?
That's right.
You figure I'll tell you?
Don't you figure you will?
Wrong base. I'm a bum in a lot of ways, but I ain't going to get anybody else in trouble.
You told us about this Jerry Roth, didn't you?
Yeah.
We got a warrant out on him now. Only be a matter of time before we pick him up.
Then let him tell you.
Do you think you got it a little wrong here?
Yeah?
What'd these people do for you?
They're friends.
Check the books. Go over what they've done for you against what you've done for them.
What do you mean?
You're a big boy. Figure it out for yourself. You know, they tell us there's an estimated 25,000 narcotic users right here in Los Angeles, and a big part of them are kids.
Reed's good. Figures always help.
I know you remember something else, youngster. You came to us and you asked for help, didn't you? You walked into the office, you said you were in trouble. We're not trying to steal a plea or sound like big men, but when you said you wanted help, we didn't ask you if you could afford it. We didn't care. Now, if these people are such good friends, why didn't you go to them? I'll tell you why you didn't. Because you were scared. You knew what had happened if you walked up to them with empty pockets. You knew they'd spit right in your face. They're your buddy as long as you can pay for it. As soon as you're broke, they never met you, did they? Loyalty's fine. It's a good thing. People could use a lot more of it, but turn it around, son. You've stolen things from your own family to support this habit. Now, how loyal have your friends been when you haven't had the price of a cap? How quick did they come through for you then? You know what it's like in here. You've had it bad. Any of your friends been around to see you? Any of them been willing to hold your head while your insides fell out? Now, we asked you a question. We don't really need the answer from you. We'll pick up the people that did this. We'll reach every one of them, from the mule that sold you that first cap to the guy who's been bringing the stuff right into the country. We just figured you'd like the chance to help out the other 25,000. I guess we had it wrong, didn't we? There's the phone. Put in a call to one of your high-powered friends. See how fast they come through for you now. You don't need us, and we don't need you. Let's go, Frank.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'll give you the names.
We talked to the boy for another hour and a half. During that time, he gave us as much information as he could on the operation of the narcotics ring. He supplied us with the names, dates, times, and places. However, he could only go so high in the organization. Frank and I went back to the office, and we called narcotics detail. We talked to Sergeant Roxy Lucarelli and his partner, Steve Broadhurst. We filled them in on what had happened and gave them a list of the names we had. The roundup of narcotic salesmen started. Inside the next 24-hour period, 14 men and women had been taken into custody. Each one of them was interrogated, but they either didn't know the name of the key man in the operation or they refused to tell us. They were all booked on various sections of the state narcotics code. On Wednesday, February 18th, we received word that Jerry Roth had been picked up in a washroom in Pershing Square. Frank and I went over to the main jail to talk to him.
All right, get it over with.
We want one thing from you, Roth.
Yeah?
The name of the wheel.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Roll up your sleeves, boy.
What for?
Roll them up. Let's see the other one.
They're both the same.
Let's see it. There's marks, Joe.
What's that proof?
That you're left-handed. When'd you have your last fix?
Who says I use the stuff at all?
Oh, come off it, Roth. We got you and you know it.
I don't see where it says that.
How old are you?
Well, you got the record. Look it up.
You're a big talker, aren't you, son?
I live that way, too.
Well, you're just taking a little drop, kid.
Yeah, you won't keep me here for more than 12 hours.
Don't make book on that.
Well, I got a lot of friends in this town. They'll get me out.
You keep believing that. We put a hold on you when we came in.
What's that
It
mean?
means you'll be dropped into an ISO cell. There isn't going to be anybody who can talk to you without us knowing about it. Everybody comes near you is going to be checked back to the time they were born.
And what's that going to prove?
We'll get to the wheel.
You talk loud, cop, but I got trouble with my ears.
All right, you sit right with it, kid. You'll be screaming for us to talk with you.
Yeah, sure.
Keep believing it, because I'll give you one thing free.
Yeah?
Next time we're here, it'll be to listen. Jerry Roth was returned to his cell, and Frank and I went back to the investigation. For the next 2 days, we kept a constant check on the suspect. During that time, nobody had attempted to see him or talk to him. Saturday, February 21st, we got back to the office from lunch.
Want to check the book?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah, we're supposed to call the main jail.
Roth probably wants to talk. Huh?
Well, we might have tried to spring him.
Yeah.
This Friday, juvenile. When? We'll be right over.
Roth?
Yeah.
Want to talk?
Well, maybe we can ask him.
Huh?
They just cut him down. He tried to hang himself. Frank and I left the office and drove over to the jail. The boy had torn his trousers into strips and braided them into a rope. He'd attempted to take his own life. He'd been found on a routine check and had been cut down. The action had been discovered almost immediately, and by the time we got there, he was almost fully recovered. We talked to him in the interrogation room.
Kind of lousy way out, isn't it, kid?
That looked good at the time.
How's it seem to you now?
I made a mistake.
How do you feel?
Pretty lousy.
You want to give us the name?
What kind of protection do I get?
How do you mean?
Well, if I tell you, I gotta know he ain't gonna get me.
Well, we'll try to build some kind of a wall for you.
You won't know it's me?
No, not from us.
All right. His name is Pollard Zern.
You want to spell that?
Yeah, Z-E-R-N-E.
He the top man?
Yeah, I built the whole thing.
Did he bring this stuff into the country?
Yeah, Sergeant, he's got a boat. He tells people he's going fishing for albacore.
Where's he bringing it in, from Mexico?
Yeah, I've been with him a couple of times. He lands the boat at a beach down there, makes the contact, and then comes home. Hides the stuff in fish. Got the idea from an old movie. That way, if they look the boat over, chances are they won't find it.
Nice setup, huh?
Yeah, it sure worked good for him.
Yeah.
He made a mint, got a big house, drives a new car, got everything he wants. He just sits back and pulls a handle, jackpot every time.
No, not this time.
Huh?
He just turned a lemon.
Pollard Harris Zern and the other members of the narcotics gang were tried and convicted of violation of the State Narcotic Act, a felony, and received sentence as prescribed by law. A petition was filed on John Keith Coulter, and he was made a ward of the juvenile court. After treatment, he was pronounced cured and returned to the custody of his mother.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a robbery detail. A wholesale drug company has been held up. $4,000 in narcotics has been taken. Your job? Find it.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, July 10th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. We're on our way out from the office, and it was 10:51 p.m. when we got to Highland Park Division, the coffee room.
Joe, Frank, over here.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, Roxy.
Want a cup of coffee?
Yeah,
I'll
sounds
get it,
good.
Joe.
Okay. How's it going, Luke?
Pretty good, kind of hot.
Yeah.
Makes me wish I'd built that patio out of our place.
Yeah,
You got a dime and change, Joe?
Yeah, wait a minute. Here you go.
Thanks.
That was a half, you know. Bring me some change.
Don't worry. Wait a minute. You want to take one of these cups, Joe?
Yeah, I got it.
How about you? You want some more, Luke?
No, thanks.
Okay.
Well, what do you got for us, Luke?
I gave you the call as soon as we got it. The way it bills is that a patrolman picked him up over on Monte Vista.
Uh-huh.
Spotted him in a parked car. Checked on it and found the guy was pretty sick. First he thought it might be a 502, but after he got a good look, figured it was a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Fellow was out cold, couldn't tell anything.
Uh-huh.
They called an ambulance and took the guy over to Lincoln Heights Receiving, gave him treatment there. Checking it out, they found several puncture marks on his arm. Thought he might be a diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
His appearance was shock. Checked on his personal effects and came up with this.
Mm-hmm. Drug vial.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, Joe.
Oh, yeah, here you go.
The label's all cut up, but there's enough left to tell the serial numbers.
Yeah.
One of the vials taken from Arnold's.
Morphine.
That's right.
What's his name?
Norman Curie.
What you got on him?
Not much. According to R&I, he's been picked up a couple of times for marks.
Has he said anything to you?
Not much. He's feeling pretty rocky. Still coming out of it. I haven't been able to get anything out of him.
What'd you say about the vial?
Nothing. Acts like a war prisoner. All he says is his name, gives his address.
To check out?
A couple of guys over there now.
Hmm.
Figures you want a piece of it, might be able to get something out of him.
Oh, I don't know. No reason for us to make it if you guys didn't.
Well, maybe. Might give it a try.
Okay. Finished?
Yeah. Here, I'll take the cups.
Okay. I have the change from that half.
Wait a minute, buddy. I'll give it to you on the way back.
All right. All right, let's go.
Okay. You want to check your gun?
Yeah. You want to give us a check for these, please?
Oh, yeah.
Has anybody talked to Curie?
Not that I know of. He hadn't made any calls. No one's been here to see him.
Mm-hmm.
The morphine vial, the only thing he had on him?
Yeah. Turned his pockets, but it's all we could find. Fellows might do better in his room.
It'll be a real break if it ends right here, won't it?
That's for sure.
Here you go. Number 6 is a belly gun.
All right, thank you. No, that's mine. Here's yours, Frank.
Oh, good. Here's your change.
All right, thank you. Anything on the car he was in?
No. The officer that picked him up went over it, but they didn't turn in anything.
Is he the registered owner?
Yeah?
You want to talk to Curie again, huh?
That's right.
How long is he going to be here?
We'll take him downtown in the morning.
Right. I'll be out front when you're ready to leave.
Okay.
Right.
You back again?
That's right.
Brought some help, huh?
Want to ask you some questions, fella.
My name's Norman Curie. I live at 9672 Farnham Street.
Yeah, I've heard.
Then you've had it for me. I'm not giving you the time till I talk to a lawyer.
Where'd you get the morphine vial?
My name's Norman Curie. I live
All right,
at
we've been through all that.
9672 Farnham Street.
Look, you're in for a lot more than a narco charge.
From where you sit?
No matter how you see it. You got trouble, Curie.
Go ahead, cop. I like stories.
You're not doing yourself any good with this routine.
You're not doing me any harm. I don't have to talk to you. Nothing in the book says I got to give you fresh air. Now, all of you, get off my back. You come in here and try to nail anything more than narcotics on me, the guys in the coffee room will laugh you right out of the station. Once around, I'll give it to you again. My name's Norman Curie, and I live at 9672 Farnham Street, and that's it.
You're giving us no more.
You've had it.
All right, let's go.
How long are you going to hold me here?
You'll be moved in the morning.
When do I call a lawyer?
I'll leave word out front.
Thanks.
Keep. Jim, want to unlock it?
You guys understand, huh?
What?
Hope you ain't sorry about what I said, just that there isn't anything I can give you.
Yeah, sure.
Just that nobody likes to be shoved around. Gets to the point where everybody's on your back. A guy don't like it.
Yeah.
Might not look like it, fella, but I ain't trying to be a big man.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it.
Huh?
You're not. The following morning, the suspect was removed to the main jail and booked in on suspicion of violation of the State Narcotics Act, a felony. He was photographed and fingerprinted. The combined efforts of the Narcotics Division and Robbery Detail had been devoted to the apprehension of the thieves who'd stolen the drugs. The arrest of Curie had been the first lead we'd gotten to the disposition of the stolen merchandise, but without his cooperation, there was little chance that we could get to the ringleaders. The next day, Frank and I checked with informants who might be able to supply us with any information. All of Curie's known associates were interrogated. None of them helped us. We got word that Curie had been released on bail at noon. Narcotics Division had assigned officers to follow him, and all of his actions were being observed. Everyone he met was being checked on. 5:10 p.m., Wednesday afternoon. We got back to the city hall from a meeting with Captain Carl Shy of Narcotics.
I'll get the log we can check out.
Yeah, it's been a long day, hasn't it?
Man, you can say that again. A lot of walking. You want to check the book?
Yeah.
Anything?
Wait a minute. Yeah, Skipper wants to see us. He's in Thad Brown's office.
Yeah?
Friday,
Curie? What do you want?
I got something for you.
All right.
All right if I sit down?
Sure, go ahead.
It's a lousy deal, Friday, lousy.
It is.
Worst. Sit in the can trying to figure out some way to keep them clean. They pull a stunt like this on me.
What are you talking about?
Well, you took the supply away from me last night. I had to make another connection this morning. As soon as I got out, I went over to see him. He treated me like I just got into town. Lousy.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't worth it. If you're going to act like that, it's going to cost him.
That so?
Yeah, you better call that Lucarelli. Is that his name?
That's right.
Yeah, get him over here. He's going to want to hear it, too.
Hear what?
I'm going to give you a chapter and verse on the whole deal.
Frank put in a call to Narcotics Division and asked Sergeant Roxy Lucarelli to come over to the office. It took him less than 5 minutes to get there. In the meantime, we briefly questioned Curie and found that he wanted to cooperate fully in the apprehension of the gang. When Roxy got there, we started to get the full story.
All right. What can you tell us about the robbery?
Nothing. I didn't have any part of it.
Where'd you get the M?
Picked it up in the bar.
You got the address?
Yeah, place down on 5th.
Who's your connection?
Guy named Corbett.
Got a first name for him?
Olin.
How's that go? O-L-A-N?
Yeah, I guess so.
When'd you make the buy?
Yesterday afternoon?
The whole vial?
Yeah.
Did you scratch up the label?
No, it was that way when I got it.
Did you know the stuff was stolen?
I put it down that I didn't ask for an original bill of sale.
What about this Corbett? What do you know about him?
Been hanging around the place a long time. I see him there all the time.
Ever been in trouble?
You mean with the cops?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he'd been picked up a couple of times for possession.
You ever done any time?
A couple months in the county jail.
Probation?
I think so. I never got in a big conversation with him about it.
You know where he got this stuff?
I can't pin it down for you.
Got an idea?
Well, it must be the bar. A lot of places there you can get connection.
You know who it could have been?
No?
Anybody around there got a lot of money that they can't explain?
Well, most of the customers will fit that.
You want to give us a description of this Corbett?
What's that for?
I'd like to check his record.
Oh. Well, let's see. I think he's about 45, maybe 46. Around in there someplace.
Yeah.
Guess he's about 160 pounds. 5'9", I think.
Go ahead.
Well, he's got kind of dark hair. Gray, in here. Around the temples.
Yeah.
Like that.
Anything else about him?
Well, he's got a kind of limp. One leg is shorter than the other.
You know which leg it is?
No. No, I never paid any attention to it.
Ring any bells for you, Rox?
It might be. I think I know what he's talking about.
I'll check R&I, Joe.
All right. How about it, Curie? You know if any more of the stuff has been passed?
Well, I can't say for sure. This is the first bunch of it I bought. Guess there's some more of it that's been pushed. Well, it sure jolted me. I'm not used to that drugstore stuff.
You know anybody that's bought?
No?
How come the stuff you got wasn't cut?
I don't know. I guess somebody goofed. Sure made me sick.
What happened when you went back there today?
Well, I walked into the place. I figured to get something up. You'd have thought I was a cop.
All right.
No, there wasn't anybody in the place that had anything to do with me.
Was Corbett there?
You mean this morning?
Yeah.
No, but at least I didn't see him.
Hold on a minute. Robbery, Friday. In just a minute. Murph? Murphy? No, he's not here. Can I take a message? All right. I have it. I'll have him call as soon as he gets in. You bet. Did you hear anything about the robbery?
No, I didn't. A couple of small-type rumbles out, but nothing you can pin down.
What'd they say?
Just that there was a heist, no names used.
Anything on who's responsible?
I told you it was just a small rumble.
What do you figure about it?
Huh?
You got any ideas who might have done it?
Well, nothing you can take to court. I give you pretty short odds on Corbett, though.
You got any close friends around the place?
Oh, he knows everybody there.
You spend more time with anybody special?
No, he usually just comes in and sits around.
You got a job?
Not so it shows.
Where does he live?
He never told me.
Why'd you come in here, Curie?
Huh?
What are you trying to build with us?
Nothing. I just got real hacked this morning with the way those guys shoved me around. I want to see them get what they got coming.
You don't want nothing for yourself.
Just to see them get paid.
You got any ideas how we can do that?
Yeah.
All right, we're waiting.
Let me nail them for you.
Spell it out.
Look, you can't get within 10 feet of them. The whole bar's hinky. Now, let me go in and get them.
We can't give you anything for it.
I'm not asking for anything. You just let me go along with you guys. Let me go in and blow the whistle on those guys who pull the heist.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, Kerry. You coming in here and wanting to help us. There's got to be something behind it.
And what's it going to cost you to find out? You're going to have a tail on me from the time I walk out of here. It's not going to do you any harm to let me go.
You're laying yourself right in the middle of the tracks, you know.
I know that, but it's worth it to see the expression on their faces when you kick the door in.
All right, we'll have to check it with the skipper.
Well, you go ahead. Guys, play it any way you want. Don't make a pound of me. If you want me on your side, I'm there.
What happens if they find out?
Send roses.
All right, Curie, we'll buy a piece of it. But I'm going to give you something going in.
What's that?
There'll be a lot of men working on this. If one of them gets in trouble over you, you better start running, because there isn't going to be a big enough handicap for you.
I'm not asking for one, am I?
If it works out, you'll get a piece of the credit. It'll go in the books that way, and that's all.
Well, it doesn't matter to me at all. All I want to see is for those guys to get theirs.
All right.
Well, this time I thought they were friends of mine, and they turn around and pull a stunt like this. It's pretty lousy.
Mm-hmm.
All I want is a connection. They got the stuff. It isn't going to cost them anything.
No, you got it wrong there, fella.
Huh?
It's going to cost them. Frank came back from R&I with the information that the suspect, Olin Corbett, had a long record in Los Angeles, listing arrests for narcotics, suspicion of burglary, suspicion of robbery, and ADW. While Curie waited in the squad room, Lucarelli, Frank, and I talked with Captain Donahoe. We filled him in on what had happened. It was decided to accept Curie's offer of help. The next morning, Thursday, July 12th, we started the operation. An effort was made to find Olin Corbett without result. In order to make sure of the safety of our informant, it was arranged for an officer from Narcotics Division to be planted in the bar. One of the younger officers was chosen for the job, and at 10:05 a.m., he took up his position in the place. At 10:34 a.m., Frank and I, along with Lucarelli and Curie, got there. We parked down the street and let our contact out of the car. He walked down the block and entered the bar. 10 minutes later, he hurried back.
Looks like something's wrong.
Yeah.
You want to open the door, Frank?
Yes.
What are you guys trying to pull?
What are you talking about?
You ain't much better than they are. A lousy thing all the way around. One thing I figured sure was I'd be able to trust
All right,
you
now
guys.
calm down, Curie, and tell us
What'd
what's
you
wrong.
plant the cop for in there?
What?
Cop in the bar. Why's he there?
What happened?
Everybody knows who he is. There isn't anything going on. What's the matter? Don't you trust me? Is that it?
We wanted to make sure you'd be able to walk out of the place, that's all.
Almost didn't work out that way. Guys in there are playing for keeps. The whole place is wide for sound.
All right. And we got to go after him a different way.
Going to have to do it without me. After today, I don't dare go into the place. They all figure I brought the fuzz in.
You won't have to go back.
Well, thanks a lot. Well, it sure goes to show you.
What's that?
Play footsie with the cops, you're bound to get burned.
We appreciate what you did.
Well, a lot of good that does. The word gets out, I'm in big trouble. As soon as those guys find out I've been going with you, I've had it. Give me one good reason why you had to put the cop in there. What kind of insurance is that?
Yours.
Huh?
We're trying to keep you alive. We went back to the office and talked with Captain Donahoe. We told him what had happened. After conversations with Chief of Detectives Thad Brown and Captain Carl Shy, it was decided that the bar on 5th Street was important enough to warrant a 24-hour stakeout. The crime lab was contacted, and we asked their aid in arranging the surveillance. Lieutenant Lee Jones suggested a camera mounted in a delivery truck. We got in touch with one of the larger truck rental services in the city, and we got permission to use their equipment. It was decided that a panel truck parked a short distance from the bar could be used to observe both the front and rear entrances. A small slot was cut in the side of the truck so that a 16-millimeter camera could be used. Frank and I spent an hour with Lieutenant Jones going over the workings of the camera. The following morning, we took up our positions outside the bar. For the next 12 hours, we took pictures of everybody entering and leaving the place. Men from Narcotics Division relieved us during the nighttime hours. For 3 days, the surveillance continued without result. Hundreds of feet of film were exposed and processed. Still, we were no closer to apprehending the suspects. During this time, we hadn't seen Olin Corbett, the man who'd sold the morphine to Curie. Thursday morning, July 17th, Frank and I took up our positions in the truck.
You checked the camera this morning?
No. Luke said we probably have to put in a new film magazine, didn't he?
Yeah, better take care of it. You know how to do this?
Well, you were there when Lee explained it, weren't you?
Yeah, but I kind of forgot.
Well, that's good. Then I better know how, huh?
Yeah. Here's the film.
All right, let me take a look. Nothing to it. You just follow these lines here.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You want to throw that little catch there? No. This one. This one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We go under that thing?
You undo it?
No, go ahead, Joe. I think you're supposed to turn that little gizmo there, that one, to make sure you're threaded up all right.
No, you're wrong.
The little knob right over there.
You were wrong.
Aren't you going to turn it?
I'm going to turn it as soon as I get this threaded up. If you turn it now, you tear the film.
Yeah, but you're supposed to turn that
We
little
turn it
gizmo.
after we thread it up.
Oh.
All right.
Well, I remembered that you turned it.
Mm-hmm. You know, you're a big help to me, Frank.
Yeah. Boy, it's going to be another hot one.
It's hot in this truck, too.
Yeah. Had Faye pack a different lunch today.
Mm-hmm.
Chopped egg sandwiches and potato salad.
Mm-hmm.
Want one?
A little early, don't you think?
Oh, might be. Figured you might be a little hungry, though.
No, not right now. Frank.
Yeah.
Want to switch on the camera?
Huh? Got something?
Come here, take a look. No, up this way. See him coming up the street?
No, where?
Right there, see?
Huh?
Just passing the bakery there.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like Corbett to me.
Yeah.
All right. He's going into the bar.
Yeah, first time we've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
Alone.
You better call Luke. Have him put a tail on the guy when he leaves.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Corbett's coming out the side door.
Yeah, he's going back to the Cadillac.
Uh-huh. You see that car pull in the alley?
No, it must have been while we were loading the camera.
Oh.
Hey, wait a minute. There's a woman behind the wheel.
Oh, she's getting out. You getting everything there?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you're not now. Why'd you stop?
Well, I just took my thumb off for a minute. I'll start again.
Looks like she's giving Corbett something.
Yeah, small package. Huh?
We better have him picked up and see what it is.
As soon as he leaves, I'll get in touch with Luke.
Okay, cut the camera. That's enough. You better get on it. He's shoving off. The car's
Yeah.
leaving, too.
You want to get the license number?
Yeah. It's 2 Victor, 22876. Might be a break.
Yeah.
At least we know one thing.
Huh?
We got a contact.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
We got in touch with the narcotics office and made arrangements for Corbett to be taken into custody. The arrest itself was made in such a way as to appear routine. A check of DMV gave us the name of the owner of the black Cadillac that we'd seen behind the bar. The car was registered to a Mrs. Beulah Pringle, 5742 Los Feliz Boulevard, legal the same. We ran the name through R&I, but we found no criminal record for her. The pictures we'd taken were processed and shown to the witnesses of the warehouse robbery. 2 of them positively identified Corbett as the lookout man on the job. Frank and I, along with Roxy Lucarelli, talked to him at the main jail, but he refused to give us any information regarding the holdup. He was booked on charges of robbery. For the next week, a constant surveillance was kept on the Pringle woman. All of the people she came into contact with were checked on. We made several attempts to search her home, but there was always somebody there. On Tuesday, July 24th, a week after we'd first observed her, she was seen at the bar again. This time, she passed a small package to one of the regulars of the place. He was taken into custody and found to have had a large quantity of pure morphine in his possession, but he refused to say where he'd gotten it. Without finding the cache of narcotics, there was little reason to take the woman into custody. On Wednesday, July 25th, we got word that she left her home. Frank and I drove out there and succeeded in making a complete search of the place, but we found nothing. A check of her car turned up none of the stolen narcotics. The surveillance continued. Another week passed. Wednesday, August 1st, she again made a meet and turned over a package of narcotics which we believed to have been taken in the robbery. After talking to the man we'd picked up, Frank and I met in the squad room.
He isn't going to give us anything.
No. Well, we'll talk to the DA's office in the morning, see what we can do.
There's got to be something about the Pringle woman that'll tell us where the narcotics are.
Well, you've been over all the information. Have you spotted anything?
No, but she's got to pick it up someplace.
Where?
I don't know. You got the list of places she goes to?
Yeah, in my locker. You want to get them? I'll check the book.
Yeah. Where are they, Joe?
Top shelf there. Should be on the left side.
Huh?
Top shelf on the left side, right in front of you there.
Oh, yeah, here I got it. Anything on the book for us?
No.
Okay, let's go over these again.
All right. Here's the report from Roxy.
Mm-hmm.
This woman's got regular appointments at the beauty shop. She has her hair fixed on Thursdays.
It's her car service to the corner of Selma and Harvard.
Name of the market where she gets her groceries, her bank, the kid who delivers the morning paper. They've all been checked out.
What about a boyfriend?
Checked him way back. There's nothing there.
You know anything about her kids?
2 boys by a former marriage.
Uh-huh.
One's 10, the other's 12. They stay at the school in the valley. Address is on the report there.
Oh, yeah, here. Sees the kid about every week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can say she's an attentive mother.
Well, maybe she's got another reason.
What do you mean?
A couple of days after she sees the kid, she makes a drop. That's
Yeah.
the way it looks, doesn't it, here?
Yeah.
Maybe she's got something besides kids over at that school. Frank and I made arrangements to search the room occupied by the Pringle youngsters. We drove out to the valley and talked with the head of the school. Without telling him what we were looking for, Frank and I got into the room and began to go over it. Anything in the closet?
Now, wait a minute. A couple of suitcases here. Looks like they're full of clothes.
Nothing in these drawers.
Hold it a minute, Joe.
Hmm?
The suitcase here looks like a makeup kit.
What's in it?
Well, I can't tell. It's locked.
Let's see it.
Look. Take a look.
Uh-huh.
You got anything I can use to open the case?
I'll try this.
Okay. Well, that does it.
Yeah.
Huh, take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Want to take it back to town?
Better and have the serial numbers checked.
Not much doubt, huh?
No, just about wraps it up, doesn't it? Let's bring the Pringle woman in and talk to her, see what she can come up with on this.
The way Roxy puts it, she's a pretty good talker.
She's going to have to be, isn't she? Frank and I left the school and drove back to the Los Feliz address. The black Cadillac was parked in the driveway. We told the maid who answered the door who we were and what we wanted. She showed us into the library of the house and asked us to wait while she went to get Mrs. Pringle.
It's quite a pad, huh, Joe?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Faye's been after me to get one of these.
What's that?
See? One of these three-dimensional viewers. You know, got little pictures in them. Faye says they're great for the kids.
Yeah.
Got all kind of pictures. Yosemite, Yellowstone. Pretty interesting. All in 3D, too.
Gentlemen, something you want to see me about?
We're police officers, Miss Pringle. It's Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Yes, I know. What was it you wanted to see me about?
You know a man named Olin Corbett?
Corbett? No, I don't think so.
How about Peter Ulrich?
Nothing there either. You mind telling me what this is all about?
Well, I think you know as well as we do, don't you?
This is some kind of a joke. I'm afraid I can't go along with it.
No, ma'am, it's no joke.
You're trying to say something. Why not stop going in circles and come right to the point?
All right. You're under arrest, Miss Pringle.
For what?
Robbery and narcotics.
Would you like to sit down?
No, thanks.
No.
Anything I can get for you? Drink, maybe?
No.
You must have some kind of evidence to make a charge like this.
We have.
You mind telling me what it is?
We've got motion pictures of you meeting the men that I mentioned. Pictures of you passing the narcotics to them. We checked your children's school. We found that makeup kit.
Not much doubt, then, is there?
No, ma'am.
Nothing I can do?
No. Get your coat.
I guess so.
Miss Pringle.
What?
Now, this house and the car. You mind telling me why you went into a thing like this?
I guess it'd sound pretty silly to you. Right now, it's pretty well to me.
We'll listen if you want to tell us.
I divorced my husband several years ago, Mr. Smith. I got a good settlement, a lot of alimony. Gave me just about everything I wanted. Maybe it gave me too much. I didn't have anything to look forward to, nothing to act as a sort of challenge. You understand?
I guess so.
I met a man, nice enough guy. One thing led to another, and he suggested the robbery. Sounded like something to do, something so I wouldn't be bored anymore. That's why we did it. It wasn't the money with me. I guess it was with him.
You want to give us the name?
Yeah. Might as well. It's all finished now anyway.
All right. Want to get that coat now?
Yeah. How long will they send me to prison for?
Well, we wouldn't know. That's up to the judge.
I hear the place is a lot better than they used to be. Lots of things to do. Jobs so you can keep your mind occupied.
That's right. And you can be sure of one thing.
What's that?
You won't be bored.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 18th, trial was held in Department 97, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Norman Gerald Keary was tried and convicted of violation of the State Narcotic Act, a felony, 1 count. Olin Lambert Corbett, Beulah Valerie Pringle, and Peter Larson Ulrich were tried and found guilty of robbery in the first degree and violation of the State Narcotics Act, a felony. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of not less than 5 years. Violation of the State Narcotic Act, a felony, is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 5 years to life in the state penitentiary. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to burglary detail. For the past several weeks, a gang has been breaking into neighborhood stores. Routine investigation fails to turn up any kind of a lead. Your job? Find one.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, March 20th. It was cold in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of burglary detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Bernard. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 9:47 a.m. when we got to the third floor of the Verrill Arms Hotel, room 314.
Sure dark.
Yeah. Want to try it again?
Yeah. Sounds like somebody's moving around.
Yeah.
Who is it?
You Jed Nagel?
Yeah, why?
Police officers would like to talk to you.
I ain't done nothing wrong. There's no reason to roust me.
You want to open the door?
All right. Come on in. I just got up.
Yeah. You alone?
Yeah, there's nobody else.
Frank?
Yeah.
That's the bathroom. I told you that there wasn't anybody else here.
Well, you don't mind if we look around, do you?
I do too, mind. I don't like you cops coming around. You're going to ruin my reputation. People in the building are going to think you're friends.
Well, now, I'll tell you, we won't tell them if you don't.
What do you want, anyway?
We got a report that you were down on East 5th last night. Is that right?
Well, I don't know. All last night's kind of foggy. I don't remember where I was exactly.
Do you remember being downtown?
I told you I didn't. Why? What are you trying to lay off on me now?
Place is clean, Joe.
Well, I told you it was. Now you want to fill me in on what this is all about?
All right, we'd like to know what you were doing downtown last
Well,
night.
how do I know? I had it rough last night.
Anybody else along with you?
No, not that I remember.
You remember being near the Palace Liquor Store?
No, not right off. I might have checked in, though. I throw a lot of business their way. Well, why all the questions? Is there something wrong?
We'd like to have you tell us.
Well, I'd like to help out, but there ain't nothing I can do.
We got a field interrogation report that you were in the area. Police car stopped and shook you down. Isn't that right?
Shit. Ain't nothing new. I'm always getting stopped.
You ever been arrested?
Couple of times.
What charge?
Drunk.
At all?
Yes. Never stood anything heavier than drunk.
Ever do any big time?
No. A couple of months at Castay. Went up to, take the cure.
Didn't hold on, did it?
Well, no. Oh,
Never
well.
mind.
You don't happen to have an aspirin, do you?
No, we don't.
How about your friend here?
He said we didn't.
Oh, that's too bad. Sure could use one. Mind if I take a look in the bathroom? There might be something in there to take care of my head.
Sure, go ahead.
We checked your record before we came up here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Find out anything?
Enough to know there's a warrant on you.
For what?
Seems you got two wives back in Texas. They're both looking for you.
All right, now, come on. Get your clothes on.
Yeah. Do you want to tell me what this is really about?
What?
They didn't send two plainclothes cops down here to take me in on a bigamy charge. What's the real pitch?
There was a burglary last night. I wondered if you had anything to do with it.
Burglary?
That's right.
Not me. I haven't got the guts to get into something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what caused all the trouble with my women.
What's that?
Oh, them all the time telling me I should get off the dime and do something. Morning, noon, and night. All the time running off at the mouth about how I was lazy. You can't expect a man to take much of that.
Come on, get your clothes on.
You going to send me back to Texas?
We don't know what's going to happen. We just have to take you in.
Gee, I sure hope I don't go back. Woman's nothing but trouble, mister, nothing else. You remember it.
Must not bother you much.
Huh?
You're married, 2 of them. Jed Nagel was taken to the main jail and held for the Texas authorities. A check of his actions on the previous night showed that he couldn't have committed the burglaries. 11:30 a.m. Frank and I checked by the office, and then we went over to the crime lab. Ray Pinker was just finishing up his investigation.
Come on in, Joe.
Right.
How's it going, Ray?
Yeah, just wrapping it up.
You got anything for us?
Same as you had on the last 3 jobs. Here, pictures are there. Take a look.
Well,
Oh, they're still a little damp.
yeah. This is the entrance, huh?
Yeah. They went through the wall from the barber shop into the bar.
How'd they get in there?
Barber shop?
Yeah.
Used a jimmy on the back window. Climbed in, went to work on the wall.
Wonder why they didn't go right into the bar.
Place is covered by an alarm system, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Here. This is the box inside.
Yeah.
Guess they turned it off after they got into the place.
You get any prints?
No. Went over all the windows, safe, bar itself. Didn't turn up anything you can use.
What about the men themselves? Can you give us anything on them?
Must have been at least 2 of them. Might have been 3.
How'd you come up with that?
Footprints.
Oh.
They kicked up a lot of plaster when they went into the place. A lot of dust around. One of them wore a size 9 shoe, and the other one had a size 7.5 foot.
Where'd you get the third man?
A lot more of the smaller impressions. Either the little guy jumped around more, or else there was someone to help make the prints.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, Ray?
We got some good pictures of the jimmy marks in the barber shop. If you come up with a tool, we'll be able to match it for you.
What about the safe, Ray?
Punch job. No class there.
Anything on it?
Mm-mm. How much they take this time?
Owner guesses at about 5,000, wasn't it, Frank?
Yeah.
Gives them a total of what?
Well, according to our figures, a little over 12 since they started working.
Scoring good.
Better than they think.
Huh?
We've just about run out of leads. Frank and I have been all over town trying to scratch something up. None of them work out.
Gotta be one someplace.
Yeah, Skipper keeps telling us that. Corner pocket's on his back.
Bound to be.
Yeah, I guess so. Doesn't make it any easier on us, though.
You signed the application.
Yeah, well, thanks, Ray. Anything turns up, give us a call, will you?
Sure, Joe. Isn't likely, though. You've had it.
Mm.
You going back to the office?
Yeah, Stats office should have those cards for us by now.
Okay, hope they point somewhere.
Yeah, you better get in line, huh?
Take it easy, Ray.
Yeah. Drop around sometime. I'll pop for a lunch.
Well, we get this one cleaned up, we'll buy.
You got a deal. My wife will go for that.
What?
She's been after me to lose some weight.
Uh-huh.
Looks like it'll be a long diet.
Frank and I went back to City Hall and checked with the Stats office. In the runs they'd made, they came up with cards on 7 men who were known to have used the same method of operation in committing burglaries. We checked the list through R&I. 3 of the possibles were still serving sentences in San Quentin. 1 of them had died, and 2 were in eastern jails. The 7th, a Norris Pauly, had a record listing 4 arrests and 1 conviction. His address was given as 4622 50th Street. We left the office and went out to check on him. The register listed him as living in apartment 12. We walked upstairs.
Should be on the left, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Let me try it again.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Yeah,
Like to see Norris Pauly?
in here.
Where is he?
You'll see where that's any business of yours.
Police officers.
What do you want to see Norrie about?
Better if we talk to him about that.
Suit yourself. Don't make any difference to me.
You mind if we come in?
You can talk right out there in the hall.
All right, Miss Pauly, open that door.
Take a jump.
Sadie, what's all the noise?
Lady, either you open that door or we will.
See it,
All
Norrie.
right, get out of the way, lady.
Oh!
All right, Pauly, hold it right there.
You get out of here. You got no right to break in here like this.
Oh, will you shut up, Sadie?
I'm trying to do you a favor, and look what thanks I get.
Well, who asked you? Now, go on, get out of here.
Last time I tried to do anything for you. Last time!
Yeah, sure. Bye. Real harpy, always trying to take care of me. Real harpy.
All right.
You know, she means good, but she doesn't know how to carry it off. Always trying to protect me.
Yeah.
What do you want to see me about?
I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure, I'll go along with you. No reason for me not to. What do you want to know?
How come you're home?
Where'd you expect to find me?
You're on parole, aren't you?
Well, you knew that before you asked the question.
Supposed to have a job?
Yeah, I got one.
How come you're not working today?
Oh, I see what you're getting at. I got a cold kind of virus infection. Figured I'd take the day off, get it all cleared up. I was in bed when you got here. That's the reason you had all the trouble.
Your employer know where you are?
Well, sure. I called him and told him. I'm not trying to pull any deals. I've been punching the clock since I got out. I want to keep it that way.
Where do you work?
Parking lot downtown. Not killing the world, but I'm paying the rent. I got no beef.
How do you spend your off time?
What do you mean?
When you're not working, what do you do?
Mostly sit around the house, watch the TV.
You go out nights?
No, not much. Maybe every couple of weeks, Sadie and me go down to the Mexican place on the corner, have dinner, taking a show. That's about it.
You been out this week?
What night?
Tell us about all of them, will you?
No go. I've been home every night.
Can you prove that?
Well, do I have to?
It'll make you look better.
Well, ask Sadie. She'll tell you. We've been home together every night, just sitting here watching the TV.
What time do you go to work?
I check in about 7.
When you quit?
4:30. Once in a while, if it's crowded, I stay over.
You work late this week?
No, you can check that with the boss. He'll tell you.
All right, we will.
Well, what's this all about, huh? You guys are after something, aren't you?
That's right.
Well, why don't you tell me what it is? I hear stuff once in a while. Might be able to help you out.
You see the old crowd anymore, Norris?
Well, once in a while they walk down the street. They nod, I nod. Nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are you after?
Tunnel jobs.
You figured I might have a piece of that action, huh?
Matches the way you work.
No, it doesn't fit. I told you I've been with the bucket since I got out. Even with taxes, I make more.
You heard anything about who's working?
Doesn't go out of this room?
We won't take it.
Okay. The boys found out I was giving you information. My insurance premium sure go up real fast.
Well, don't you worry about it. Now, what do you know?
Word's around, there's 2 guys.
We had that going in.
They pulled 3 jobs.
Well, they made it 4.
No, I don't know about the other one.
It'll be in the papers.
Uh-huh.
You got a name?
No, just heard that they were working.
Where'd you hear?
A fellow down on 7th, he sells papers down there. We have a cup of coffee once in a while, he told me.
You know where we can get in touch with them?
Yeah, but it'd be better if you didn't, though. It'll lead right back to me. Sadie? Hey, wait a minute. Where you going with the suitcase?
I'm leaving you.
Oh, come on. Isn't anything serious?
You don't ever talk to me. Try to do you a favor and you take their side. I've had it from you, bum.
Oh, come on, Sadie. Don't be sore.
Take your hand off of me.
Baby, please, don't be sore.
I'm going to tell you once more. Take your hand off of me.
Look, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, Sadie. What'd you go and hit me for?
Because you're a bum. Don't go trying to get me to come back to you. I'm through this time.
It's too bad, Paulie.
No, it isn't. I've been trying to figure some way to get her to walk out since I got out of jail. Never been able to do it. I sure ain't sorry. I ought to buy you guys a drink for taking care of it for me.
Yeah.
Only one thing that worries me is her big mouth. She's always talking.
Mm-hmm.
She might have heard me say I'd give you a hand. She blabs that around. I'm in real trouble.
You didn't give us any names.
That doesn't make any difference. She gets to talking. She'll have me telling you the name of every hoodlum in town. Whether that gets around, I'm a gone duck. I got to get after her. Yeah, Sadie and her big mouth. She's going to get me in trouble.
Well, makes you even then, doesn't it?
Huh?
Yours kept you out of it. Before we left the apartment, we checked Paulie's story and verified the fact that he was not implicated in the burglaries. We drove down to the corner of 7th and Wild. We found the newsman Norris Paulie had told us about. We talked to him for about 15 minutes before we were able to convince him that he wouldn't get into trouble by giving us the information that he had. He told us what he knew about the tunnel burglaries. He was unable to give us a name of the suspect that he had in mind, but he did give us a description and the nickname Kiko. With this information, we returned to the city hall and checked the moniker file. There were several Kikos listed, but only 2 that matched the description. The first one checked out clean. The second, a Franklin James Wigg, WMA, 33 years old, had done time in the state penitentiary as a cat burglar. We contacted the state authority and found that Zwig was on active parole. From them, we got his address and we went out to see him. It was a small one-story modern house built in the early 30s. The chrome railing up the front stairs was rusty and the paint on the front of the building was peeling. We rang the bell and waited.
Yep.
Your name's Wigg?
Yeah, that's right.
Police officers. This is Sergeant Joe Friday. My name's Smith.
What do you want me to do?
Why don't you ask us in?
It's all the same to you. I don't want to get the carpets dirty. Let's talk out.
Come on, mister, get your coat.
What
I
for?
want to talk to you.
About what?
We'll tell you about it downtown.
You make a charge or I ain't leaving the house.
All right, suspicion of burglary.
You gotta drag that up again.
We don't make the rules.
Your time once in your life and the cops never get off your back.
You should have thought of that going in.
What good would it do? You cops never learn.
Well, you're not much of an example, are you?
What's that mean?
You're probably going back for another course. Before we took the suspect downtown, we made a thorough search of his home. We found nothing to tie him in with the burglaries. He was taken to the squad room and questioned for over an hour. During that time, he'd say nothing. He was booked in at the main jail, and Frank and I checked out of the office. The next day, Wednesday, March 21st, we had him brought from his cell. We talked to him in the interrogation room of the main jail.
How long you guys think you're going to be able to hold me?
Depends on when you decide to talk.
Tell you what, cop, I'll make a deal with you.
No deals.
What do you mean?
We don't want you. We want the guy who engineered the burglaries.
Well, then why don't you let me go now?
Want to make sure the story gets a play in the papers.
Well, what's that going to prove?
Your friend will get worried. He'll figure you're going to talk.
Look, if I was mixed up in anything, I'm not one way or the other, but if I was, why should he get worried?
Word's out that he's the brains.
Well, where's that from?
All over town.
It's not true.
The way we got it, stories around that you went along for the ride. Other fellow did all the brain work.
Who said that?
Everybody we've talked to.
Well, then if everybody's talking about him, why ain't he here instead of me?
Because he's a smart one of the pair. Somebody's got to fall. Might as well be you. He can pick up another partner.
You telling me the real scam?
That's the way we get it.
Not true.
Oh, we only got your word for that. All I know is if I ever get in trouble, I'd want to make sure I had a pigeon waiting to take the beef. You're here, he's out. Now, you tell me who's smart.
How'd you get to me?
It was in the books.
Not like this. I fell for cat burglary. Nothing to do with tunnel jobs. Somebody had to blow the whistle.
That's so?
Sure. You had no call to pick me up. Just right out of left field, you walk in. Who did it? Who made the call? Somebody did, huh? Somebody pointed me out. Come on, I know who it was. You ain't going to get him in trouble telling me. Somebody told you, didn't they?
That's right.
It all fits real good. Well, I tell you this, cop, I ain't that dumb. A lot of things I've done that I don't want anybody to know about, but I never blew the whistle on a friend. That's one thing I didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff about him being the brains, that's a lot of coconuts. He can't get into a phone booth without help. I figured the whole deal. It was me who said we'd had it and ought to stop. He wanted to keep going. That's why I left.
When was this?
Night before last. After we got through, he was sore because there was only a little over $4,000 in the box. We heard there was around 10.
Yeah.
Said he wanted to make a big score before we quit. Said to go together on one more. Told me what he wanted to do. I wanted no part of it. The guy's off his rocker. I left.
What's he got in mind, you know?
Wants to tunnel into a bank.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
We continued to talk to Franklin Zweig. From him, we got a complete description of the second suspect and the name Lester Kroll. We checked the name through R&I, and we came up with a record for him. Listed were several arrests for purse snatching and suspicion of assault. In spite of the arrest, Kroll hadn't served any time in jail. We showed the mug shot in the package to Zweig, and we got a positive identification. We asked the suspect in custody where Kroll lived. He gave us an address on South Figueroa, but when we checked there, we found that Kroll had left without giving a forwarding address. We talked to all of the people listed in his package as having known the suspect. None of them could or would tell us where the man was. We questioned Franklin Zweig further, but he was unable to tell us what bank Kroll had in mind. We contacted Vern Alm of the Bank of America, Frank Stumpf of the Security First National, and other special agents of Southern California banks. They, in turn, notified the branch managers to be on the lookout for evidence of Kroll working in their neighborhoods. Special M.O. bulletins were put out to all officers in the city, giving particulars on the methods the suspect was known to use. In addition to these, local broadcasts and APBs were gotten out on all suspects. For a week, the search dragged on. During that time, there were no further reports of attempted tunnelings and no sign of Lester Kroll. Friday, March 30th, 8:01 a.m. I checked into the office. Frank was waiting for me.
Morning, old buddy.
Hi, Frank.
Beautiful day, huh?
No, it's a little cold out.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any difference to you, huh, old buddy?
No, it doesn't.
You feel any different?
You
feel any different today than you did yesterday?
Are you all right?
Never felt better. How about you, old buddy?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hey, just a minute. I know what's wrong.
You do, huh?
Yeah. You didn't think I'd forget, did you?
Listen, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Ah, come on, old buddy. Just a minute. I'll get it. Got it right over here, right up on the top shelf. I brought it in myself. Here you are, Joe. Wrapped it myself, too. Looks pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I guess it does.
I didn't have nothing to put on the top, so I found a couple of Christmas tree ornaments. Put them on with a ribbon.
Yeah, it's nice.
Come on. Dig down in there.
Well, what is it?
Go ahead. Open it up. Got him yesterday after lunch. Thought I wasn't ever going to get you out of the way. Remember when I told you I was going out to buy a new hat? Remember?
You know, Frank, I think maybe you made a little mistake.
Oh, just take the top right off the box, Joe. Open it right up.
All right. There.
What do you think?
Well, they're very nice, Frank.
Hey, you bet. Police line slippers. Got a pair myself. Greatest thing in the world, a cold morning. Keep your feet warm, Joe. Police is warm, you know.
Yeah.
I got a pair myself.
Mm-hmm.
See the card? There's a card there. Open it up. Go on, read it. Go ahead.
Out loud?
Sure.
This is the day that comes once a year, the day your face does shine. A happy day for one and all, because today you're 9.
Doesn't match too good, I guess. It's all I had at the shoe store. Happy birthday, Joe.
You know, I just don't know what to say, Frank.
Well, I know how you feel, old buddy. I understand you're all kind of choked up, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. This isn't my birthday, you know.
How you choked up? Huh?
This is not my birthday, Frank.
Well, that's the 30th, isn't it? March 30th?
Yeah. My birthday's August 30th.
Well, now, wait a minute, buddy. It can't be. I got it right here in my little book. Wait a minute. See? See right here? Wait a minute. March 30th, Joe's birthday. I wrote that myself. You know my handwriting. March 30th.
Yeah, you got the date right, but it's not mine.
You kidding me?
Frank, I know my own birthday.
Huh. It's funny. Must be somebody. Who do I know named Joe?
I get it.
Joe.
Burglary Friday. Yes,
March
sir?
30th.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
March 30th?
Where is that? I see. All right, sir. We'll be right out. Yes, sir, right away. Come on, old buddy. We got one to roll on.
August 30th. Huh?
I say we got to roll. Let's go. Barry over at the street department. They got a call this morning.
Yeah?
Looks like somebody's trying to dig a tunnel in the storm drain. Frank and I left the office, and we drove over to the corner of Silver Lake Boulevard and McCollum Street. We met with Barry Falcon of the street department. He led us to a manhole in the middle of the intersection. He told us that there had been numerous complaints from citizens in the area that the cover on the outlet kept rattling. When the street department checked it, they found that the cushioning material around the metal plate had been removed. It was replaced, but the next day there were several more calls. When the neighbors were questioned, they told of a man who arrived in a pickup truck about 2:30 in the morning. He'd lift the cover and enter the storm drain. Before the daylight hours, he'd leave and he'd drive away. From the description they gave, it was possible that the repairman was from the street maintenance department, but a check of their records showed that no crews were working in that area. After talking with Falcon, Frank and I climbed down the ladder into the drain. We walked about 20 feet up the tunnel, and we found the reason that we'd been called.
Barry tell you what's over us?
Well, near as we can figure, it's the vault in the bank, isn't it?
Sure isn't kidding.
Take a look over here. Got all the equipment, lamps, couple of drills.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to use them unless he ties into an electric line someplace.
I probably figured he'd run into one.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what's that over there in the corner?
We'll take a look.
Can you see it?
Yeah, better leave it alone.
What do you got?
He's got it all figured.
What do you mean?
That bottle over there?
Yeah.
Looks like nitroglycerin. The people in the immediate vicinity were shown the mugshots of Lester Kroll. He was positively identified as the man who had worked in the storm drain. We asked about the truck, but none of the people could give us a good description of it. The employees in the bank were cautioned, and Frank and I arranged for a 24-hour surveillance to be set up on the storm drain outlet. 2 days passed without activity, and then on Monday, April 3rd, we waited in our car down the street from the intersection. 2:20 a.m.
Another cup of coffee, Joe?
Yeah, wouldn't be bad.
Boy, it sure gets cold this time of the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I finally figured it out.
What do you mean?
Who Joe was.
What's that?
Here. Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, thank you.
Joe. You know the name of my book, The Birthday?
Oh, yeah.
It's our mailman.
Hmm?
It's our mailman. It was his birthday.
Oh.
I got him one of those cards that says, "We're sorry we forgot." You know the kind.
Mm-hmm.
We gave him the card and a carton of cigarettes. Old Joe sure got a kick out of it.
Yep.
Sure gets cold this time of the morning.
Take a look.
Yeah, I see it.
Parking there. You see his face?
Not from here. Till he gets out.
Look at that. He even got a hook for the manhole cover.
How do you like that?
Watch it now. He's going under the light.
It's him.
Yeah. All right, let's let him get down in the storm drain. That way we'll be able to get him while he's working.
Right.
Let him get in there.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. You want to give me a hand with the cover?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Okay.
Hold it up a minute. Give him a chance to get to work.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go. Come on.
Right. You're sure not wasting any time.
Probably figures on making a break this morning.
Uh-huh.
Take it easy now.
Right. You can see him good now.
I'm sure going after it. All right, come on, let's take him.
All right.
Come on. How about it?
He's dead.
Look at that. See up there? He ran into one of the power lines into the bank.
Yeah, you almost made it, Joe. A couple of more inches, he'd have gotten in.
Yeah?
He must have figured wrong someplace. Made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, when he bought that drill.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On August 16th, trial was held in Department 97, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Franklin James Weig was tried and convicted of burglary in the second degree, 3 counts, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Burglary in the second degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 1, nor more than 15 years in the state penitentiary. At a coroner's inquest, the death of Lester Bruce Kroll was found to be accidental, occurring while in the commission of a felony. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to the business office. Past records show that you can expect 170 crimes to occur in the city during the next 24 hours. You don't know where. You don't know when. Your job, handle them.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Saturday, July 10th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We'd been assigned to the business office, morning watch. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Gilbert. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from the coffee room, and it was 12:10 a.m. when I got back to room 21, the business office.
Well, file what?
Who are you talking to, buddy?
Oh, hi, Joe.
Hi.
Hey, try to stay around, will you?
Huh?
I've been here 20 minutes. I've had 29 phone calls and written 3 reports.
Okay, I brought you some coffee back.
Oh, thanks. Hey, how you feel? Any better?
Oh, a little bit. I don't know what it is. I ache all over. I think I'm coming down with a cold.
That's too bad. A lot of that going around.
Yeah. Where's Skipper?
They ran over to the crime lab. Want to talk to Pinker.
Mm-hmm. How about the pool cards? You check them?
Yeah, the book's here someplace.
There it is, right on that paper there. No, over there. There.
Oh. Yeah, 5 of them out. Checks in the book.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Something we can do for you?
You a detective?
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
All right, young man, my car's been stolen.
All right.
I told one of the officers on the corner about it, but he said it might work faster if I came up here.
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
The car's stolen. All you've got to do is go out and find it. Just find my car.
What kind of a car is it?
Well, it was a brand new Chevrolet.
That's 1954?
That's right. Bel Air with the windows that fold down.
All right. Now, we'll need to know some more things here before we can start looking for it.
Yes, what's that?
Your name?
Avis Bowen.
Mm-hmm. That's A-V-I-S.
Well, that's right. There's no other way to spell it. Avis Bowen.
Yes, ma'am. You have a middle initial?
R. Hope you're not going to ask me what it stands for.
No, that won't be necessary.
There isn't anybody that knows what my middle name is.
Yes, ma'am. All we want is the initial.
Well, that's all you're going to get.
All right, Mrs. Bowen.
It's Miss.
All right. Well, what's the license number?
Oh, well, now, I think it's 1U44441.
All right. Wait just a moment, please.
Who are you calling now?
DMV.
Well, who's that?
Department of Motor Vehicles.
Oh, my, all this going on. It's a wonder you ever catch anybody.
Hi, Harry. This Friday over at the business office. California license 1 Union 44441. That's right.
Now, tell him it's a Bel Air with the windows that fold down by themselves.
Yes, ma'am, I'll do. Doesn't it? Well, hold on here. You sure about that license number?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, it kind of looks like you made a little mistake, Miss Bowen.
I did not. The car's stolen.
Yes, we understand that, but you gave us the wrong license number.
1U44441. I remember it because of all the fours.
Harry, I'll call you back. Miss Bowen, that number's registered to a 1940 Studebaker.
My license number?
Well, I don't know, but the one you gave me, yes, ma'am.
1954 Chevrolet Bel Air. Windows that fold down by themselves.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
There must be several hundred cars that look like that. You've seen them before. Well, you act like you've never seen a car like that. There are lots of them around. Mine's light blue with a gold on top.
Uh-huh. We still need the license number. Do you think you have it at home?
Yes, I guess so.
All right, fine. If you'll phone it in to us, we can start looking for it.
Well, how do you expect me to get there?
Ma'am?
Home. How do you expect me to get there?
We'll have a car drop you off.
Well, it's about time I was getting some kind of service around here.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I'll write a letter to the papers about this.
All right, ma'am.
The whole thing, right down to that TMV or whatever it is. Expose the whole mess. Oh, you're going to be mighty sorry you ever opened this can of beans.
We're doing the best we can, ma'am.
Well, that's not very much. Standing around here making phone calls isn't finding my car.
Well, you said it yourself, didn't you?
What's that?
There must be several hundred cars like yours here in the city.
Yes?
Well, without the right license number, how are we going to find it?
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Ma'am?
You're nothing but a fake.
I beg your pardon?
You ain't no detective.
The business office, room 21. It's open 24 hours a day, but it's after the detective division closes that it begins to work. While patrol units in the city function normally, the men in the business office give advice on booking procedure, policy matters, and other police business. They issue pool cars and riot guns, and in the event of an emergency, they act as advisors in an overall plan for the dispersal of policemen. The captain on duty is, in effect, the acting chief of police. On the average weeknight, the activities are slow and routine. But over the weekend, the men involved can expect to handle several hundred phone calls from the thousands put through the complaint board. These calls deal with every crime in the municipal and penal code. In addition to this, they handle the citizen traffic through the city hall. Next door is a report room where statements are taken and forwarded to the captains of the detective divisions for appropriate action. Frank and I had checked in at 12 midnight, and for the following half hour, we did business as usual. At 12:41 a.m., we got a hotshot call reporting the sound of shots in the 4200 block on Albany Street. At 12:43, the call was changed to a shooting and ambulance follow-up. At 12:45, the hotshot phone rang again.
Is that the shooting?
Yeah, it's a homicide now.
You going to call a unit?
Better have them check it, yeah.
Same address as the shots?
A couple of houses down. This is Friday, business office. Will you put out a call to 1K5? Have them cover the shooting and ambulance follow-up at 4289. That's 4289 Albany. You got it. Right, thank you.
Looks like a good one, huh?
Yeah. Turns out we'll get Geezy out of bed.
Well, that'll make him happy. It'll end up in their laps.
Hi, Joe.
Bob, what do you got?
You want to sit down there, Pop?
Who's he?
I don't know. We found in front of one of the burlesque houses on Main.
Mm-hmm.
The place was closed. He was just standing out there looking at the pictures.
You got a name on him?
Mm-mm. Haven't been able to get him to say anything. You want to give it a try?
All right. You want to tell us who you are, old fella? Come on, we want to help you, but there's not much we can do if you won't tell us your name.
Doing about as good as we did. Old guy looked pretty wobbly when we stopped.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Well, we'll have to take him over to Georgia Street. Wait a minute. You got a wallet? All right, let me look at it, will you? Maybe there's something in here that'll help us.
Yeah. And the money?
No. A few cards here. Nothing with a name on it.
What's that one there? Something written on the back. Looks like a phone number.
Yeah, that's what it is. You want to call and see if they know who he is?
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, you just sit still right there.
Hello, this is Officer Frank Smith, Los Angeles Police Department. No, there's nothing wrong. Well, we have a man here in the office. He's carrying a card with his phone on it. I wonder if you can tell us who he is. Huh? Yes, ma'am. Well, he looks to be in his late 70s. He's got white hair. That's right. Well, he's wearing a brown wool sweater, black pants, and a black felt hat. That's right. You want to give me that again? Mm-hmm. No, he's all right. Yeah. That's right. We'll have him brought home. Right away. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Now we got it. His name's McKinley Dunn. He lives out on Vincent Avenue in Highland Park. Talked to his daughter.
Yeah.
She says they got into an argument after breakfast. McKinley here just got up and walked out of the house. She hasn't seen him since. Pretty worried about him.
It figures.
Says he's always kind of independent.
Well, better run him home, huh?
Hey, you want us to take care of it?
No, we can't have you out of service that long. I'll call Highland Park, have them pick him up. You want to take him over to York Boulevard and make the transfer there, Bob?
Sure thing.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Dunn. Here you are. Let's put this back in your pocket.
Come on, sir. We'll take you home. Thanks, Joe.
It's no trouble, Bob. Tell the boys from Highland Park to have his daughter put a card in the wallet with all the information on it. Will you make it easier next time?
Sure.
The car's not going to do any good, Joe.
Huh?
Car's not going to help. Daughter says she always puts one in. As soon as the old man gets out of the house, he tears it up.
I got it. Business office, Friday. Uh-huh. Photographer get there? How many? You get the story? Yeah, we'll bring him in. Do what you can. Right, we'll see you then. That's Sam and 1K5 on the shooting.
Yeah.
They got 2 suspects in custody. They're bringing them both in.
Uh-huh.
Third man left the scene. Sam says the accidental death possibility is out now.
Yeah.
It's a clean case of murder. 10 minutes later, the officers in Unit 1K5 arrived with the 2 suspects. They were identified as Fred and Harriet Purcell. The names were run through R&I, but no record was found on either one of them. It was obvious that the 2 people had been drinking heavily. The husband was taken to the report room while Frank and I questioned the woman.
I don't remember too good. Everything seemed to happen so fast. Just all of a sudden there was this kind of noise and Norman was dead.
Norman, is that the victim?
Yeah. Norman Moncrief.
You must know who had the gun.
I've been saying that to myself, but it doesn't do anything. I guess I had too much to drink.
Who else was in the apartment with you?
Now, you mean besides Fred and me?
That's right.
It's just the 3 of us, that's all.
We got a report there was another man present.
Well, then you know more than me.
All right, you want to give us the whole story?
The beginning when?
From the start.
Okay. I had a tooth pull this morning. I guess that's what caused all the trouble.
How's that?
My tooth was impacted, and I had it pulled, and the dentist gave me a shot of Novocaine, and you pull a tooth, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
I care. Well, I got home, and the Novocaine started to wear off. The whole side of my face started to hurt terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I told Fred about it. How it was a terrible pain. I tried to tell him how much it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He's a clod. Told me to have a drink and forget it. And it wasn't long before we were having the beef. Old Fred, he isn't very bright at times, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think a fella'd have a little sympathy for his wife at a time like that.
That's right.
Not old Fred. He's a clod. Told me to pour myself a little drinky and shut up.
Was Moncrief there at the time?
Yeah. Him and Fred had been playing pinochle when I came home. I guess they'd been at it all afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Norman was on my side. He made Fred mad. Time we got to fighting pretty good. Norman was right with me.
Yeah.
Told him Fred he ought to be quiet. I think Fred was sore about being beat at pinochle. He thinks he's a pretty good player. Not long after that, there was this shot, and Norman was dead.
Were you in the room at the time?
No.
Well, where were you?
Out in the kitchen. I went out to get some more ice.
Who was in the room when you left?
Just Fred and Norman.
No one else.
If there was, I'd have told you.
Just a minute. I'll get it. Business office, Friday. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You'll have to call in tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Let's go on here. You know Mrs. Regman?
No?
Mrs. Leo Regman?
Yeah, what about her?
She told the investigating officers there was another man in the apartment. Said that he left right after she heard the shots.
She would. No, he's got her nose where it doesn't belong.
Well, she was pretty certain about what she saw.
Then ask her. She saw the man. Let her tell you who he was.
You don't think it'd be better if you did?
Then it ain't going to be good because I don't know.
Did you hear anybody come into the place when you were in the kitchen?
Nope.
You're pretty sure of that, huh?
Now, look. I got enough troubles. Me and my old man's in jail. My face feels like it's coming off. I want to get home and get some sleep. If I knew anything, I'd have told you a long time ago. Now, leave me alone.
What did you do after you heard the shot?
Went in to see what it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Just opened the door and looked. Norman was lying there on the floor.
Where's your husband?
Just standing there looking at Norman.
Where was the gun?
Fred had it.
Whose gun is it?
I don't know.
You never saw it before?
I don't like guns. I don't like to have them around. I don't look at them when they are. I never saw it before. You talked to Fred yet?
No, not yet.
No. Well, he'll tell you the same story, same way I told it. You'll see. There's no need to even talk to him.
Is that right?
Sure. You already got it the way I told you. What more you want?
Just one thing I can think of.
Yeah?
The truth.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
Frank and I attempted to talk to the husband, Fred Purcell. He was too drunk to be coherent. We made arrangements for some hot coffee to be brought in. His wife was taken to the interrogation room to wait until we could fill out the reports. At 4:20 a.m., we got another hotshot call regarding a cutting on South 5th Street. The investigating officers found the knifing had resulted from a quarrel between a man and his common-law wife. The woman was in critical condition. She was removed to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital, and the husband was booked in at the main jail on charges of assault with a deadly weapon. We notified Chief of Detectives Thad Brown and Captain Lorman of the shooting and the cutting. During the next hour, there were 2 armed robbery reports, several burglaries, and numerous fights. 5:31 a.m., Frank went down the hall and brought back 2 beef and cheese sandwiches and some coffee. At 5:46, we got a call from the men in Unit 1K5 telling us that they were on the way into the office with the gun that had been used in the killing of Norman Moncrief. 10 minutes later, 2 uniformed officers brought in a pair of possible car thieves. One of them was held in the hall while Frank and I talked to the driver of the car, a Melville Hulbert, age 19.
Where'd you get the car? I bought it.
Where?
Well, from a lady. She put an ad in the paper, said she had this year Sharp 52 Ford for sale.
You remember what paper?
Well, no, sir. Yeah, I think it was one of them morning ones.
When did you buy the car?
I don't know.
Well, you must have some idea.
I reckon maybe it was in January. Yeah, around there in January.
Let me take a look at your driver's license, will you?
Yes, sir. Here you are.
Take it out of the wallet, will you?
Oh, yes, sir. Here it is.
This your present address?
Sir?
You still live here on Echo Park Boulevard?
Oh, no, sir, I moved. I got me place over on Olympic.
How long you lived there?
You mean on Olympic, sir?
That's right.
I don't know. Reckon maybe a couple months.
Don't you know for sure?
Well, see, I got this here bad memory. I think it's been a couple months.
You live with your family?
No, sir. They down south.
Where's that?
New Orleans.
Do they know you're out here?
Yes, sir.
When'd you come to California?
August.
Last year?
Yeah, last year.
You got a job?
Aircraft factory out in the valley.
It's kind of a long drive to work for you, isn't it?
Yes, sir. But I got a good deal on the place I live at, see?
How come you haven't reported the change of address to the Department of Motor Vehicles?
Reckon I just forgot. I got this here bad memory, you know.
When you bought the car, did you finance it?
Sir?
You buy it on time, you pay cash for it.
Cash.
You got the pink slip then, haven't you?
The lady sold it to me, signed it.
Where is it?
I don't know, sir.
Didn't she give it to you?
No, sir. She just told me she was going to send it to Sacramento someplace.
Did you get any kind of a receipt for your money?
Yes, sir.
Well, where's it?
In my wallet?
Let's see it.
Yes, sir. I got it right here someplace. Pretty funny about this.
What's that?
Well, I wouldn't steal no car. It's pretty funny to think I did.
Mm-hmm. All right, now how about that receipt? Have you found it yet?
Yes, sir. Now, here it is.
Who wrote this?
The lady sold me the car.
Is her name here?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. She wrote it.
When did you say you bought the car?
Well, January, I guess.
This year, huh?
Yes, sir.
You sure you couldn't be wrong about the date?
Well, now I don't know. Maybe.
Where'd you meet the woman who wrote this receipt?
At her place?
Where's that?
Out in Westwood. I think that's what you call it. Apartment out there.
You remember the address?
No, sir.
Haven't got any idea at all where it is, huh?
Well, it was up on Wilshire. I know that. Apartment on the 2nd floor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was number B or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I'll check.
Now, what'd you make all that big deal about when I bought the car?
Date on the bill of sale is a year ago.
Well, somebody must have made a mistake.
Now, we knew that when you walked in. We're trying to find out who. What do you got, anything?
Yeah, it checks out. Names in the book. West Department B.
Yeah, now that could be it. I know that it was on the 2nd floor. Looks right out on Wilshire Boulevard.
All right, Mel. You go over there and sit down. We'll be right with you.
It's going to be okay?
We'll see.
Now, look, I didn't steal that car, mister. I should have told him about how I moved. But I did not steal the car.
All right. You go over there and sit down, will you?
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
Well, it seems to check out. Date on the bill of sale could be a mistake. Woman might have just written the wrong year.
Yeah, it's pretty close to first. Could happen.
Hate to give the kid his first felony booking, don't you?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Well, let's hold him over till we can check with the woman.
Yeah.
Officers? Gonna be all right?
We'll see.
You ain't gonna send me to jail.
No, not yet. You can wait down the hall, will you?
Now, as long as you know I did not steal the car.
We'll check with the woman first thing in the morning. I want to tell you one thing, though.
Yes, sir?
We're going to give you a break by not booking you right now. Don't make us sorry about it.
Oh, no, sir. Thank you.
All right, go on. Get out of here.
Where's Jimmy?
He's down the hall. The officer there will take you.
Yes, sir. Officers?
Yeah.
Thank you again. You hear?
Yeah, you take care of that bad memory, will you?
I got it. Headquarters Smith. Oh, yeah. Yeah? What's the address? No, he's not here. Just a second, I'll check. policeman out in Hollywood wants permission to kill a skunk.
What?
Wants to kill a skunk caught in a trap.
I guess it's all right if it's the only way they can get rid of it.
Well, the way he puts it, it is.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. What's that? Well, I don't know. You better check with the watch commander. Yeah. Okay, good night. They got an injured animal report. Turns out the people out there had trouble with skunks, got a permit for the traps, and caught one tonight. Once they had it, they didn't know how to get rid of it.
I better make a report on it.
Must have been pretty funny.
Huh?
Officer said we could use the skunk in the department.
What was that?
Officer said we could use the skunk in the department. Says he'd qualify on the target range any day.
I get it. Headquarters Friday. No, we got the word. Where you been? Check out with the lab? No, we'll wait. 1K5.
Yeah?
They just picked up a third person in the shooting. 3 minutes later, the officers in Unit 1K5 brought in a tired-looking man in his late 20s. His name was Harry Carnell. He'd been drinking, but he seemed to be in complete control of his faculties. We ran his name through R&I, but we found no record on him. The officers also brought in the murder weapon, a .32 caliber automatic. A check of gun records gave us the name of the store where it had been bought and the name of the owner. According to the registration, it belonged to Fred Purcell. The crime lab reported there were no fingerprints on the weapon. We tried once more to talk to Purcell, but again we were unable to. We asked Harry Carnell, the latest suspect, to tell us the story of the shooting.
I went up to the place to collect some money Mancrief owed me.
What happened when you got to the apartment?
Knocked on the door and Purcell let me in.
Who was in the room?
Just him and Mancrief.
That's all, huh?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I came in and said I had to have the loot, and Mancrief told me he was stony.
Yeah.
He said to check him tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Purcell got on his back, said he was always welching, and the beef started.
You mean between them, huh?
Yeah, they were both pretty gassed when I got there.
You have anything to drink with them?
No, I had a date, sir. That's what I needed the money for. I got a girl with a pretty big appetite. I was broke, and I figured I'd tap Mancrief for what he owed me.
All right.
Anyway, these two got in a big beef. Purcell told Mancrief to get out. He wouldn't go, so Purcell ran over to a desk there in the room and hauled out this big gun, started to blaze away.
How many shots did he fire?
Well, one's all I remember. Might have been more, but I didn't spend a lot of time counting.
Just one, huh?
Yeah. You know, a guy sets a clay pigeon on your head, you ain't gonna stand there.
What happened then?
Well, Purcell pointed the gun at me, said I should get out, too. I didn't feel like telling him he was wrong.
During the time you were there, did you see anybody else at all?
No. Fred's wife was around someplace, I guess.
Why do you say that?
Well, they started yelling at each other. I heard Mancrief say they'd bother Harriet. That's Fred's wife, Harriet.
Uh-huh.
I took off like a big bird.
Where'd you go?
My place. Had a couple of belts and then walked by the apartment to see what was going on. An old broad there started yelling about how I was the guy who ran out of the place after the shooting. Next thing I know, I got the collar on, and here I am.
Uh-huh. What was Purcell doing when you last saw him?
I was standing over Mancrief, holding the gun, looking like a cover on a pulp magazine.
You willing to sign a statement on what you just told us?
Well, sure. I got no part in this action. Just went to collect a bet at the wrong time, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty lousy night. Missed my date, didn't collect the money, end up in the can. It's pretty lousy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not the only one, though. Old Purcell always thought he was such a great card player. He's a real fish. He lost $6 tonight.
Well, your part right.
Huh?
He lost more than that, didn't he? Harry Carnell was taken to the report room where he made a full statement. At 7:03 a.m., Lieutenant Ray Giese from Homicide Division came in and took over the investigation. Fred Purcell was questioned, and he made a voluntary statement that he'd shot and killed Norman Mancrief. He couldn't remember why he'd done it. He was removed to the main jail and booked in on a charge of violation of Section 192 PC, manslaughter. His wife and Carnell were released from custody. We made out reports to all divisions for the follow-ups on crimes committed during the night. At 8:02 a.m., the men on the day watch came in and relieved us.
It's going to be a nice day.
Yeah.
A few clouds up there. Might keep the heat down.
Yeah, let's go.
You want to stop for breakfast?
Well, I guess we might as well, yeah.
What do you think, Joe?
Hmm?
You like to draw the business office for permanent duty?
No, sir, not me. I guess okay once in a while. I don't think I'd like it steady, though.
Huh?
Not busy enough.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On November 18th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Further investigation proved that the purchase of the automobile by Melville Hulbert was legal, and no further charges were made. Frederick Neal Purcell was tried and found guilty of manslaughter and received punishment as prescribed by law. Manslaughter is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period not to exceed 10 years. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.